Hey everybody, it's Frank K and welcome to K Comics. Thor the Devourer King, which was written by Donny Cates and penciled by Nick Klein. This story is more of a soft reboot for the Thor character, so those of you who likes Thor with all his limbs intact, why don't you dive right in? The story picks up with Thor's hammer going through all the 10 realms, with Thor's voice emanating behind it as a form of a testament to all the 10 realms. Odin is now dead and Thor is now the new king of Asgard, which means he's now the protector of all the 10 realms. So from him, he urges everyone to keep the peace that is currently ongoing after the War of the Realms ended. But he is going to say this once, let there be peace or thunder. But ultimately the hammer was headed to Earth for a beast which the Avengers were fighting at the moment. So clearly the beast was not savoring on that peace that Thor was saying. So instead it got a hammer. So the hammer landed on Earth, going through the beast's head, killing it in the process. With the hammer sitting on the floor for a brief moment, Iron Man asked for a Sharpie. Back in Asgard, we saw Thor with Lady Sif, who is now the All-Seer of Asgard. He has apparently taken the role of Heimdall. So Thor was like, do you see that? That was an impressive move. I bet Odin couldn't do that. And Sif was like, yeah, I bet that was an impressive shot. But with that out of the way, Thor is now still bored and then demands Lady Sif to tell him whether there's something in the 10 realms that needs smashing. But then the reply he had was like, everyone now has a new role. I am the All-Seer of Asgard and I'm doing just that. But you also has a new role, which is to be king of Asgard. So why don't you just leave here and go and be king? But Thor turns in attempt to leave and also saw written on his hammer, nice shot, enjoy retirement, which was apparently written by Tony Stark when he asked for Sharpie. Thor then left for his throne room, which was something new. So for Odin, he has his golden or his shimmering golden palace, but for Thor, he has everything made in wood and stone, which was grown by the Yggdrasil and shaped with hammers. He also has a symbol of a Nordic ruin above his head, which is supposed to symbolize both destruction and defense. So if you dare attack Asgard, in their defense, it's destruction you are going to get. Thor sat on the throne and he demands everyone to leave him alone. But Volstagg, who at this point was always thinking about ale all the time, he then tells Thor that he knows that the speech Thor is about to give to the Asgardians is important, but so is the ale for the feast. So Thor should maybe consider installing more ales for the feast after his speech. Thor didn't even answer the question. Then we saw Volstagg commanding a kid to just put all the ales on the moon side. After all this, Volstagg and the rest left him in peace. But then there was Loki, who just appeared from the dark like nothing. And then he was like, okay, so how does it feel to be king of Asgard? Nah, what Loki said was, how does it feel to sit on father's throne? And Thor was like, I wouldn't know because I've only sat on my throne. And this makes sense because Thor has even made the throne in his own likeness. The wood and the stone, Loki at this point is also the king of the Frost Giants. In the War of the Realms, he killed his father and now he's the king of the Frost Giants. So, as for me, I think Loki being in Asgard, like he deeply wants to be king of Asgard, and since Thor is now the king of Asgard, he's just coming to look into things and see how Thor is faring being the king of Asgard. And it was like, so there is a big speech that you have to make to the Asgardians, and I know you are stressed as hell. So what about that one too? And Thor was like, you know what? I've been doing speeches like this for a long time, and this is not a new thing for me. But Loki then tells Thor that don't fool yourself, man. We know that those kind of speeches that you make at your comrades, telling them how they are going to kill their enemies, and also how he tells his enemies how they are about to be killed in the most gruesome way. So this is a very, very different speech he's going to give. With this speech, he's meant to inspire the Asgardians, which is far from what he has been doing for the past years. Thor at this point has now had it, so he was like, okay, so is it not customary to bow when visiting a foreign king? And Loki did just that. I mean, he's out of his element right here. But Thor was like, okay, so now you can leave. And who even invited you here? And make sure the next time you appear, make sure you are invited. But doing all that, Thor then picked his hammer in attempt to lift, but while saying all these things, he granted mid-speech, which Loki noticed. So Loki was like, okay, is it getting heavier? Thor, who at this point has had enough, turned his back, held his hammer right at Loki, which he stopped mid-flight, inches from his face. And Loki at this point was impressed. I mean, Thor is flexing new abilities here. He then tells him that he's now the king of Asgard, clothed with the power that comes with it. So Loki should remember that whenever he tries to get on his nerves. For the most part, Loki is often wrong about many things, but this day he is right about two things. The first being that Thor of late has felt the weight of his hammer growing, and he doesn't know why, and he's surely going to know, and he wouldn't like it. And also, secondly, Thor is indeed rather nervous to give his speech to the Asgardian. I mean, in his private hours, the Thunder God has practiced the speech aloud to an audience of his reflection and his hammer. So as he was there about to give the speech, he then realized the sudden change in the temperature of his kingdom, which wasn't his own doing. And then he lifted up his head, and then he saw something which surprised him. But then boom, Galactus just landed on Asgard. I mean, Galactus just crashed on Asgard, and Thor, who was at this point enraged as hell as he is now the new king of Asgard, wasn't having it. So he charged in, striking Galactus with a huge massive bolt of lightning. I mean, the guy basically dropped his helmet and goes full battle mode on Galactus' ass and was like, Galactus, you dare? Giving him a massive lightning bolt right to the face. For all those who might be wondering that Thor's behavior is irrational and how he just charged in against Galactus and why he didn't ask for anything but just started fighting with Galactus. I mean, Galactus is someone that when he comes to your earth or your planet, you know that your planet is about to be eaten. So it's obvious why Thor is going against Galactus at this moment. But as he tries to follow up with a second attack on Galactus, Galactus then stops Thor and then tells Thor that he's rather here for his help, which made Thor stop and was like, really? He then told Thor that the Star Plague, the Black Winter, is coming. But looking at Galactus at this moment, Galactus is pretty messed up. And if the Black Winter is what did this to Galactus, then man, that Black Winter is one hell of a threat. It's been weeks since Galactus has been recuperating in Asgard, and since his stay in Asgard, everything in Asgard is going awry. I mean, the War Tree in Asgard is now dying, and its fruits are beginning to turn it into ashes, and its branches are breaking. But then there's Thor, who at this point has gathered all the former heralds of Galactus around one table. But Silver Surfer for some reason is not present, or for some reason is late to the meeting. But Thor demands what the Black Winter is. He wanted to know what the Black Winter is. And None of them seems to know anything about the Black Winter until Silver Surfer comes in telling them that the Black Winter is the end of everything. So Thor saw Silver Surfer and noticed the change of his wardrobe, but Silver Surfer assures him that that's a story for another time, and the Black Winter matter is urgent and it needs to be dealt with quickly. But with Silver Surfer being here, he lets everyone know that Galactus was once Galan of Tar, and then the Black Winter came to his home universe and destroyed everything, which at the end ended up transforming Galan of Tar into Galactus, which we all know of now. Thor then asked Silver Surfer how they can stop the Black Winter, but Silver Surfer then told Thor that they can't, and it's only Galactus who can do that. Galactus has survived the Black Winter twice, first as Galan of Tar, and also recently, weeks ago, he survived it and he barely escaped it with his life. So it makes sense that Galactus is the only one that can even fare off against the Black Winter. So during his years of a Herald of Galactus, he found out about 5 unique planets that's rare energy will give Galactus exponential powers, which will make him able to fight off the Black Winter. So at this point, the Heralds were like, okay, so it's great. Galactus with more power. What threat would it be? So all of them were like, okay, so who is now going with Galactus in this universal tour? Then Thor tells them that he will go with Galactus in order to see the denizens of these particular planets to safety before Galactus devours the planet. But with all this happening, Thor's mind is still conflicted. When he thinks about how Sif told him that his mighty days are over and how his armor is getting heavier by the time, that makes him worried a bit. But he still knows that the old king is dead and he's now the new king and he must stand up to the role. But Silver Surfer, who then approached Galactus, tells Galactus that he can feel Galactus in his head, so he assumes Galactus knows the plan. But Galactus, who at this point was impressed, then tells Silver Surfer that he's really impressed on how Silver Surfer can keep all the location of these planets hidden from him for this time. For the most part, Silver Surfer has been Galactus's herald for the majority of time, so being able to keep all the coordinates of these planets away from Galactus is very impressive. But he then tells Galactus that Thor is coming with him and in order to see the denizens of the planets to safety. So is he ready? And the response from Galactus was like no, which surprised everyone. You said the Black Winter is coming, so are you ready so that you go and feed you so that you be strong in order to face it? And your response was no. At this point, he needed to shed some light on the Black Winter. So he then tells everyone that the Black Winter is so much like him, and when you gaze into his eyes or when you look at him, you see your own species in front of you. But for the Black Winter, when you gaze into the Black Winter, you see the form of your own true death. When he gazed into it for the second time, he saw Thor as being the means of his death. And then he blasted Thor with an energy which for a moment made everyone feel like he was killing Thor, which was a smart move. If Thor was the embodiment of your own death, then eliminating him from the picture is a smart move, so that in the near future, there's no Thor to be your end, right? But it turns out he was granting Thor the power cosmic, making him his herald in the first place. Since Thor told Galactus that he was going to dinner with him, he then turned Thor into his herald. And also because he wanted Thor close. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer, so that when maybe the end comes, maybe he can turn things around with a cheap shot. Thor at this point is looking very, very great with all the bright colors, white everywhere, white and blue everywhere. And Thor now has his eyes back and his arm back, which makes him look cool. But where have I heard this before? Like his smiting days are over? Really? Are you sure? Okay, let's wait and see. Yeah, and I remember from the former girlfriend. Peace.